I'm sharing my screen. So where were we earlier? Removing the unexpected things. Copying my example that we were doing yesterday. Customer React. And start. Hope you guys can see my screen, right? On this, we have basically more of a so in the day 3 we have routes. Routes are more with passing parameters, using services, a quick implementation with the databases, API services, a brief on security, and Jest unit test in React. Covering this will basically having a very making a full-fledged application running on your for your reference and making it work. So here we have the working version. So I have it here. Admin. This is a working copy. I'm going to take you route and then take you further how to do it. So to make a route, let me give you the quick set of things what I have done in my application in the implementation. As effectively we are using the router. So in order to make our application with router, we have added the support of routes, and we are adding the support in our application with the third-party package, which is React Router. These are the two packages which you need to install on your application. So in installing it, you can do yarn add. So you have to go to your application CD customer or React. The name here, I have a customer React. Unprompt, obviously here React add this router. Yarn. So yarn is very similar to NPM, those who are familiar with it. So you need to get familiar with it, or you can do it this way. So we have adding these two. As soon as you add these, you will get the reflection in the package.json file like this. With this reflections, you are now able to see in my code. So in app, somewhere you have to write code like this. So a function has changed. So you have to change it. So here we are using router, which is here. So I've taken it in terms of the example. You have browser router link. These are included and they are taken from the React router DOM. If you see the code, effectively we are accessing the app. Under the app, router is the parent, and based on the switch, it can have a parent to one of these. So when the switch is home, That means the component which will be laid over here or mount to be mounted is home. Similarly, as the path changes to customer, this component will get changed and the customer app will be added. Similarly, as it moves to about, the previous component will be removed under the switch and it will be basically added to about. Same, now you see the logic here as we are doing. We are moving this. So as I am moving to about, you can see, observe the URL change. Customer, and I'm moving to about, it does change. I'm getting the about things. As I move to customer, then about will get unmounted, removed, and the customer will be added. About will get removed, customer will be added. Now let's do how we are adding. If I would like to add one more, so in this application we have login. And we have a menu also. So I have added a menu. In our menu we have these things which has these links. So I can add one more link here. For example, I would like to add one more. Rather than this, I can talk about the training, and I can put it here, training. So training link doesn't have anything. So if I go back to the code base here, training doesn't serve any of these switch, so it goes to the, so training doesn't switch any of this, so it will goes to none of these. So let me create one more component just like about. So I'm taking the about component here, copying it out, getting a new component, new file, calling it training purchase. Maybe I'm preferring to call it training and training. I can remove this all, and under the app, similarly I can add here training. So I can add one more the moment I add like this. So I can map with training, give it a training. Training. You can see training. So this is a process to add one more route. So this whole routing, so this is the starting point. So app will basically so how our app starts, like some of you asked yesterday also. So our application is starting with the first with HTML as you have loaded. This HTML is having the root element. So our application altogether is added on the root ID. So div where the ID is root. So this is where we are adding. So it is added from index.js. So if you check my index.js, this is the code. React DOM.render. So render this HTML, and where to render it as on root. Then the control goes to the app. So if I remove apps, so that means we have really having nothing here. So I go to this, you can see nothing. This is the main app. So this is a tree kind of thing. So tree has a starting root this, and then control goes to the app. App then have a app then have a code which is router based on the URL this router moves. This is a common code, so that means customer app and HR will remain. This HR is a line will remain there in everywhere. So if I go back, show it to you. If I refresh again, this line will remain there in this customer app and this line. So if I do this customer app and this line, so we are having this menu which is home, customer, about, and training. Now think about if I would, so you can see here what I'm looking forward is the way that this three customer, if I would like to have these three customers, so we have completed and brief on the routing. I'll be taking you the more towards the service side of it code. So let's see, we have, I'm written here, we have three customer records on our system. Checking it, we have only two. Let me add the three one. I go there, this is three. This is actually the static one. I'm again going to the customer. You can see it is only two. There's a no three, just two. So what's going on? Why it is two? The reason is every time the customer which is implemented by us is reinitialize the whole data. It is not storing it separate. So in our current implementation, the data, the code part of it is very much attached with the component itself. We should do the decoupling, separate it out, and separating it out, that means we would like to keep it this data in a separate code base, separate file and service, so that it can be referred from somewhere else also. For that we can create a service. So to create a service, we should preferably create a separate folder, new folder, call it service. Service is nothing but a simple file. So due to a short of time, I'm taking the service from my code, which is X service, simple service. You can think about a service as an independent set of code which has a functions to add, update, delete records. So I'm basically doing new file, calling it customer service.js. So give me a second. Customer service here. So it is a records, three records. We have export function one, customers, another add, another delete, another get by ID, and I have update. So it's basically kind of a, think about a Pojo, and this is a overall class, those who are familiar with Pojo in Java. Now coming back to the code, so now in my application, I'm interested in home. Rather than this, I'm adding a import a customer service from taking two folder back, and then service, and then customer service. Taking it here. Rather than customer service, I should do it here. Get customers Here, rather than this, I can do get customers. So I'm getting the objects, list of array, and then I do length. Going backward, I'm opening the Chrome again, refreshing it all. Going to customer, home, 3. Now this area is still static, so I need to change it to this service. Going to the service, so let me check which one I'm using. I think this one is what. So let me use it here. I have to obviously import this file. Import dot service dot customer service. Here I'm writing get customers. Here on this I can write get customers. That's it. So if I go here, Chrome, so you can see the records are here. So we have just taken the static record. That means if I add the records, that record doesn't save to the server, the service. So in order to save those records, we have to implement in a full-fledged. That means we have to implement the code here. So I have to get the get customer, add customer, update customer, and yeah, I think delete customers. Accordingly, I can quickly take it off and use it in our application. So here, if I to change, so what change will be here. So let me do a quick change for the add implementation on handle when we are doing adding. So we are doing the add here. So this is added and this is add. On add, rather than this, I can do add customer. This is simply the new item. Once it is added, I can simply remove this and I can put here get customers. Similarly, when I'm doing the added, means updating, then I can handle it here. Update customer, and I can do it with new customer, new item. This map may not be required to process it here. Here I can do the get customers. So if I go here to the code, so if I do add, let me do the add. 4 records, 4 records. Going to the customer, adding one more, 5 records, 5 records. So every time I'm coming with the customers, I can see the same records here. Similarly, let me try out the added functionality. If I do add it, putting it S and doing update, I can see the S here. Again, I'm going to about, going to customers, S is still there. Now let's implement the delete also. If I go down, so we have add customer. Simply you can do the delete customer here. delete customers. So I think I need to pass ID. Here, once it is deleted, you need to do get customers. So let me refresh. So if I'm deleting it now, going to the home, to customers, adding one more, having 3 customers. So we are basically managing it through service. We can have multiple services. Services can be used to operate data from the REST APIs. It can be used to have utils, to have some static things. It can be have some data which can be used across your multiple components. So let me check if you have any questions and quickly see if I can answer those. So here if I go, machine goes put hang. Okay. So Pradeep, this code is basically written as a part of webinar. So maybe end of the webinar, I will share this code and send you the link. Any other questions? I think I don't have any other questions here. So when you are talking about Angular interceptor, here we are not using a framework. So we are using the same simple service. So it's not with Angular interceptor. We cannot make it. So there is nothing here like Angular. And like Angular, basically when you in Angular you have a one app.js. All the modules and everything is first check and validate there and be a part of app. Here it is not like that. So we can have React as a library. It's not managing it at all. We can add just like a simple JS as a service, but it works and serves the same purpose for us. Yeah, I don't have yesterday's session with me. I think the webinar team have it. So I will ask them to share the link. So they will, I think, share the link soon. We can discuss briefly on Redux, but Redux itself is a long topic, so we cannot go it in detail. So how to handle error in global level? So we have when we are talking about global level, we have nothing, but by default it is all global if you are talking about components. If it is not components, then it is try and catch. In component we have a boundary. So if the error is basically getting in one component and you would like to avoid it to affect other component, you can manage it with the boundary restrictions. Yeah, other than that, there is nothing like global error. We can have a try and catch to handle it. Okay, I'm going back. So here this whole thing is done. I have whole app. So now if you have it with the REST API, so in my application I have a REST connection. So in order to have it a REST, we can use having a get, set, post and all. So let me introduce you to the REST, very basic. So I can have a node, node API dot this. So we have some REST. When I'm talking about REST means it, we have an ID or uh, we have a URL which identifies the entity. So in this case, it identify the entity customer. So with this entity, we can have a using the postman. I can add, update, and do the records. So let me quickly show you what it is. Though most of you are probably already aware of it. Why it goes so slow? In the background, let me share you the things. So on the REST API means that it is representational entity state transfer. So basically it represents, so in this case, it represents, this URL represent the entity which is customer. So this entity called customer is effectively, we can do the here, the add, update, delete, and get. Effectively, we are talking them and calling them methods. So when you are hit a URL anywhere, so it basically provided a method. This method could be get, post. So let me do it here, get, post, put, delete, and much more. By default, when we write a URL, it is a get method. Get means get records. Get records is this. I'm getting the get records. So if I do this, you can see the list of methods here. I'm doing get, so I do get, so it's basically listing it on me. So now let me do one post. So in with post, I'm going to the body. I'm interested to add a record, putting the ID. So let me copy this as it is. So here I can do some number. Here I can write a name, say Rama, and here I can write Rama@India, some address and post. Here it should be JSON, and this should be raw. So Okay, this is removed. So one record is added. Now if I go back and see here, or I can do this, the record is here, Rama. So I'm going to integrate my application. So these are basically the methods: request, post. Post means add, put means update. Similarly, we have patch. Patch means additional update, means it is not changing anything, but it is a addition. And then we have a delete. So if we do this now, service. So I'm taking the service which is implemented earlier. So we have REST APIs like this. So we are using a fetch. So I go here and I'm creating a new file, calling it customer service rest.js. Reflecting this API, saving it. Now this is a fetch. So this is basically, fetch is a promise. So it is basically returning a promise. So we are not getting the right data at all. We are returning a promise. So what is promise? Promise is basically a deferred event, I would say, and that event could be of three states. This could be unfulfilled, that means it is yet to be fulfilled. It is fulfilled, that means resolved. Second state is resolved, and third is rejected. So if I show you a simple promise, so we can have a let's leave it as of now. We don't have much time for going into it. So promise is basically just calling it and it is resolving. So we have going into this. So now we have to implement. So let me save. If I go back to my code, customers, refresh. So I'm getting 3 records. Similarly, I need to go here, change this to customer rest service. The moment I did that, start getting me error. Similarly, because we are here returning promise rather than array, so I would better initialize it with blank. How can I handle it further? So I can basically, we have an option to do component did mount. So component did mount. Component did mount is the function which calls when component is ready. At that moment we need to add this. So I'm doing the get customers. So I can make a customers, maybe I need to make it async. So let me do here get sync customers. This dot sync customers. Here I can do async, and I'm calling a var list equals to get customers. The reason I'm using async and await is to handle the call. So async means this call is asynchronous. The control waits till the response is in promise received and resolved successfully. Once it is resolved, only then it will go further. And then I can do this dot set state, and I can pass here items and the list. Let's see what we are getting it here. Oops, I got all the records, including the Rama. Similarly, we can do these all implementation, delete, update, and all. We have to handle it with async, and everywhere we have to handle the sync like this. I'm doing the same in the existing examples which we have, and I'm quickly updating it for your reference. So here you see we have it with X. Okay, we have it with functions actually. No. Okay, let me quickly make the changes here itself. So when I'm doing it, doing the customer add, which is okay. To make it async. Here we have to do await, and we don't need this. What we need it along with it, this. This should be this dot sync customers. Effectively, it should be customers. So this should be again await, and this won't be case. We have it here. This is for console purpose only. And remove this. Similarly, let me see where is the delete. I can make it async and await. Once it is deleted, I don't need to call this fellow. I directly call this, use this dot. I think is this moment we should able to get this work. So sync customer, I think in line number 113. So I need to write this. Hold records, add it. I write Vivek Omar. Maybe Vivek. Then I do update. It's working. I can do delete. Let me delete multiple Viveks. Oh, delete is not working. I need to check. Yeah, it does delete, but it's not reflecting instantly. Yeah, records are, so I'm deleting Alex, Ramswamy. So if I refresh, I can see some records got removed. So if I go here, let me check where the delete is. I'm using await, delete is with ID. Oh, I'm passing here just ID, not the full one. So going back, I can change the code here. Bit this. Deleting Alex. Yeah, it's worked. Deleting Vivek. Yeah. So everything is working as expected. So I have training, this, and log out. So let me quickly share this code with you so that at least we have something for your reference. So I'm doing this, deleting the yarn.log and move node modules dot coming here. So I have zip -r customer react 03. This is third day dot zip, and I'm sharing it with you. Zippy customer zip. Or I can go here and put the link. Let me go quickly to the drive. So we have so I'm adding a folder here, webinar. So am I able to see it here? Right. New file upload. Rippling too much here. Workspace RN under it. This is the file. So you need to just do yarn install, and then you have to share it up. Let me do the share. So I think if I check again, share, Let me confirm. Share, copy link, and I'm sharing this with you for your reference. So we have now events. So recording links can be find at this link. So you can check the events, and we have the links available on this URL. I've already shared the code. To take a load image while transitioning from one page to another page. So Arvind, I'm not sure if I understand your questions. How to make transition page during a link. So here I'm using a link itself in my code. In menu, if you go, this is the link. So if you have any question answers, please let me know. We have very few minutes now. So I just changed to question answer mode. So React is anyways into JavaScript. So it has its own way to have responsive design and reactive. So JavaScript does has it, but server side is it has no connection with it. So React doesn't have available with Java side. So it has its own something like RX for React. So that can be referred and checked. So not many questions now. Have you got the link? Can you quickly download and check if it is running? If you have any questions related to the link, then let me know now. So on route, how can you with API error response? So you have to handle the catch in the response. So if the API response doesn't receive, then there is a, so in our fetch, if you see, so we have it. So in the fetch, you see here we can do the catch error. And so when we are getting the error, that means we are also getting some error in our response. So here we are dealing with it. So we can handle it with say new error. I'm doing with Redux. So when we are doing it here, you can also do the simple code try and error. So if the rejection happens, then obviously you will receive the code in catch. And you can handle your code here. That will work for you. I think I have one more question here. Okay, thank you, Suraj. See this, we have referred the same one, very same example. So the day 3 code will include the very basic, and I will be using the same code base in the very first day 1, day 2, day 3. If you see in my current code base here, so we have gone through yesterday with reducer example, with something with timer. We have done some thing to do with the more things and about. We have using reducer context. So we have everything here, guys. This example is basically covering the thing. So it's like we have day 1, day 2 is a part of day 3 example has that with this. So what else we have? Thank you, Pradeep. So briefly about the lazy loading. Lazy loading is Okay, let me show you brief on lazy loading. Where is the code? So this we have, this we have. So this is our HTML example. Now if I'm doing a lazy loading here, I can do script here and I can write a function a equals to, maybe I can do quickly this console.log a. So I'm referring to lazy functions, by the way. Now, what do you think? If I run this, what is the outcome? The outcome is nothing here so far, no change, since we are not calling anything. So if I want to make an output, then this will create an output, ABCD. Now, if I go and run this page somewhere here, and you will see the output, ABCD, perfect. So there is nothing special here. We are just calling the function. Now think about if I'm interested to make it lazy. So I'm doing set timeout, passing B and passing some time 0, even the time 0. And so I do it with C. So what do you think now? What would be the sequence? The sequence is simple here. So the JavaScript receives this sort of command. So first this will actually execute this. That this execution means defining. Similarly, define B, C, D. Then it executes A. Then it executes set timeout. That means set timeout is itself is an execution and schedule something B. So B will get scheduled, but scheduled after 0 second. It will come after this. So as soon as the JavaScript has done with all the tasks, then it will schedule it and it will do. So so I'm refreshing it again. The code is ADBC. ADBC. That is the sequence. So what is B here? B is we are scheduling with set timeout. So set timeout 0. So what we are doing, we are saying that don't execute this now. This is a lazily loading, means whatever the thread is doing, whatever the JS is doing, let it do that, and this will be scheduled later on with less priority. So we are prioritizing it with 0. 0 means as soon as everything else is done, it will load. Similarly, when we are doing lazy loading of JavaScript files and remotely, we will be handling it with similar things, that it is not loading instantly. It will be loaded when or so really loaded into the DOM. So, and the concept with set timeout or whenever it required is handled through this case or similar cases. So lazy means it is scheduled to be done, but it doesn't affect the current time. So now think about if D is on priority, so here if the A is on priority, D is on the second priority, then B and C. So this application know B and C is scheduled, but irrespective, they are not going to affect the performance of D. So first D will go and then it is go. So we can similarly loading can be done with lazy components. We can have lazy features and all those things. Let me quickly check what we have more. So here you can do the registrations, guys. We have more sessions coming up, and I think links could be available here also. Okay, thank you. Any more questions? Okay, thank you all. I'm closing the session here. Bye-bye. Please close the webinar.